What's going on YouTube? So today we have the all-new 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid.
And we want to know, is this an electrified compact SUV you should be considering?
Let's go ahead and find out right now. Now, like always, the first place we want to start out with is under the hood for a quick spec dump. So with the PHEV, what are you gonna get? You have a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine plus 2 electric motors and a 20 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery pack. Total system output on that is going to be 248 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque.
All-wheel drive is going to be standard equipment, and as far as full electric range, you're looking at 38 miles, which is quite impressive.
Now, of course, you want to see it out on the road. That is coming later in the video, but first let's go ahead and close up the hood and take a look at the exterior design. Now, with the new plug-in hybrid version of the Outlander, there's two really important things that I like about it. First of all, the design is going to stay pretty much the same as the gas-powered model. Second, the trims are also going to stay pretty much the same as the gas model. You have 4 versions. You can even get the base ES in the plug-in hybrid variant. Now, returning back to the design, let's take a look at what we have up here in the front. As you can see, we've got that new design that debuted just last year. It's the latest version of the Mitsubishi design language, which is called iFood-Doo-Doo. That's what it says. I don't know how to pronounce it. Don't quote me on it, but that is what they call it. Nevertheless, I think it looks pretty good. It's a big grille up here. You've got the black accents, big silver piece here. Plus you have the silver accent on the lower fascia and all with the base model. Now let's also talk about the lighting. As you can see, we have a 3-piece arrangement. You've got your daytime running light and turn signal indicator up here at the top. Down below, this is your main headlight cluster. It's going to be an LED reflector. It's going to be standard on every single version. And then down below, we have an LED fog lamp. This is going to be on all but the base model. Now, as you walk around to the rear, just like with the front, you're not going to notice any big PHEV changes in the back, which I think is a good thing because this new Outlander has a really clean and classy look to it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the way this looks. Now, as far as some of the design elements, we have a spoiler up top, an exposed rear wiper, and let's check out our taillights. Signature Outlander taillights. Let's see if all 3 elements are going to be LED. We have an LED brake light portion, incandescent reverse light, incandescent turn signal indicator. So 1 out of 3 elements are going to be LED on this Outlander. That's not uncommon for this segment, so I'm not really complaining much about that. And that's actually going to be the standard tail light on every single Outlander model. Now, dropping down to the lower area, I like that all of this is finished in body color. I'm not a huge fan of all the rugged matte black that everyone's putting on their cars, so I like that this is finished in a nice body color. We also have some silver trim down here to kind of spice up the design. This is a plug-in hybrid, so we're not going to have any exposed exhaust outlets, but we do have some kind of faux-looking designs right here. And then as far as your tow rating, it's going to be reduced 500 pounds from the regular Outlander model down to 1,500 for the plug-in.
Now, one of the things we commented on last year when we reviewed the traditional gas version of the Outlander is the fact that almost every single version comes with really nice looking 20-inch alloy wheels. That's right, all but the base model will come with this contrast alloy wheel. The base model will come with an 18-inch alloy instead, but these look really good, especially in contrast with this bright red paint. Now, as we move on up here, they're not going to let you forget that this is the plug-in hybrid because we have a very large EV badge right there. And then in terms of our mirrors, you are going to have standard blind spot monitoring on all models. If you go up to the SE trim level though, that's going to get you power folding as well as heating.
Now, here at the side of the Outlander, you might notice that this vehicle looks a little bit bigger in footprint than the average thing in the segment, and it actually is. 184.8 inches in overall length, which means it's a little bit longer than the Nissan Rogue and about 4 inches longer than most vehicles in this segment. Now, as far as your design elements are concerned, we do have a silver roof rail up top, and I do like that for 2023, Mitsubishi is offering a black roof option, of course with certain color combinations, but that definitely spices up the overall design of this Outlander if you choose that option. Now, down here at the bottom, we're going to have body color surrounds, which is a feature that you get on SEL trim levels and above, and it just makes the overall design a little bit classier. Now let's go ahead and talk about the safety features for this Outlander, because this is a family vehicle first and foremost. Now Mitsubishi is including 2 out of your 4 active safety features as standard equipment. Now if you want the other 2 safety features, you will have to go for just all but the base model. So the vast majority of Outlander plugins will have all 4 of your active safety features as standard. In addition, you also have rear auto braking as standard on every single Outlander model. But guys, there's a really luxurious quilted interior that I cannot wait to show you, so let's go ahead and dive into that.
All right, so let's go ahead and get inside. Before we do, of course, we got to take a look at our key fob. We do have an intelligent entry system, and remote start is available via the app. To get inside, there's not a sensor behind the door handle, so just press the button and that will unlock the doors. And then take a look at that cabin. Of course, it has a very premium design for a vehicle in this class. And let's go ahead and kind of start by breaking down those seats you're looking at right now. The base ES comes with cloth seating. The SE is going to come with leatherette seating. When you get to the SEL, what we have today, that's where you're going to get this quilted, genuine leather seat. Very nice look to this. It also has a nice soft and supple feel to it. But if this still isn't good enough for you, you can get the SEL Premium package, and that's going to get you semi-aniline leather seats. Now, as far as the adjustments, 8-way power adjusting with 2-way lumbar support on all but the ES trim level. You can actually get massaging by choosing the SEL Premium package as well. But let's go ahead and climb inside. Now, if you watched our review last year of the regular gas Outlander, you heard us say that this is one of the nicest cabins in the class, and thankfully that does continue for the plug-in hybrid. Let's start over here with the door trim. Really nice look here. We've got the quilted leather covering all through the center section here, as well as the armrest. As far as the windows, one-touch automatic for all 4, and we do have memory seating actually both on this side and on the passenger side. But talking about the materials again, nice soft touch plastic along the top, good texture to it. We have leatherette running through the center section, leatherette running through here, piano black trim, more leatherette. We have a faux aluminum and some more piano black, and everything does fit together very nicely and look very luxurious. But let's go ahead and start it up with the push button start. One of the things you'll probably notice is that it does have a different startup chime than the other Mitsubishi Outlander. But let's go ahead and take a first-person look at interior details, starting with our gauge cluster. So this is a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. It is going to be standard. As you can see, nice-looking graphics. We do have some dedicated graphics, like our energy flow monitor, as you would expect. And you can also get an available head-up display here on the SEL trim level. Now, pulling back to the steering wheel, most models are going to come with a nice leather-wrapped version of this steering wheel, but regardless, as you can see, this is the latest Mitsubishi design. So we have the smooth leather on the top and the bottom, and then we have the perforated leather here on the sides. The wheel itself is going to be manual, tilt and telescoping, and heating is an available option. Let's go ahead and turn over here to interior storage and take a look at how much space we have. Starting with our center console, this is decently sized. It is a little bit smaller than most things in this class. Let's put our coupons in here though and see how it stacks up. Can it close? It can still close, so it passes the coupon test. Now we've got our 2 cup holders right there. You have another nice sized bin up here in the front, and this is also a wireless phone charging pad on the SE trim level and above. Got some USB connections and some additional storage along the side of the center tunnel. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at our shifter. As you can see, this is an electronic style. So just going to pull down for drive, bump up for reverse. And when you go into reverse, all but the base model are going to find this 360-degree camera system. That's a quite impressive feature. As you can see, you've got both your traditional view with active trajectory, as well as your overhead view and you can press the camera button to cycle to a side view as well. Then just press the P on top for park. Right over here to the right hand side of that is going to be your electronic parking brake and your brake hold function. Now to the left of that, that's where we have our drive mode controller. You've got a lot of different modes that you can choose between. Additionally, we have a couple other buttons up here. This is the button that allows you to cycle between EV modes, so you can lock it into just electric power, just engine power, or the hybrid mode. And let's go ahead and talk about the climate system. So you do have a standard dual zone automatic climate control setup, but if you choose the SEL trim level, that's going to get you the 3-zone automatic climate you see here. That's pretty rare for this class. We do have that additional rear zone, and we can make the adjustments up here with these 2 handy buttons. Next to that, all but the base model will have 3-stage heated seats. Just be aware you cannot get ventilated seats on any version of the Outlander. Alright, so the next place we have to come to is our audio system. So pretty much every single version is going to come with a 6-speaker sound system. You can get a Bose premium sound system with 9 speakers on the 40th anniversary edition, but let's go ahead and sample the 6-speaker sound system. So overall, sound quality is not too bad for a vehicle in this segment, so you don't really need to upgrade to the audio system, the upgraded audio system, unless you're a big audiophile. Alright, so let's talk about the display. 8-inch display on just the base ES trim level. Everything else will come with this 9-inch display. I don't think we mentioned up to this point, the Outlander does share a foundation with the Nissan Rogue, and some of the parts in here are Nissan-esque. This infotainment system is basically straight out of the Rogue. So you've got the same kind of software, you've got the widgets and things that you can choose from, and importantly to a lot of you guys, you do have wireless Apple CarPlay. Not Android Auto though, Android Auto is wired. This 9-inch display does also have built-in navigation. Now above that we do have an auto dimming mirror. This is included on the SEL trim level and above. And then up top on today's model, we do not have the panoramic sunroof. That's actually just going to be included on the 40th anniversary edition, but you can option it on to the SE and the SEL.
Now come on back here and sit with me in the rear seat of this Outlander plug-in hybrid. Now, as far as the rear area is concerned back here, it's a very good amount of space. 37.9 inches of legroom, 38.1 inches of headroom. If you're curious as to how that compares to the competition, that's going to be about the same as RAV4, a little bit less than Honda CR-V, about the same as Nissan Rogue 2, so it's going to be a pretty much class competitive. Now, as far as how much space there is for my knees, this seat is adjusted to Drew, who's 5'8". I'm 5'9", and we're looking at about 8.5 inches of space. My feet can also slide up underneath the seat, although it's a little bit tighter than I would like. Now, I do also want to point out you have 3 rear seat back pockets, so if you are someone that enjoys, pestering your mom and dad up in the front, you can beat on the seat, pretend like you're putting something in the seat back pocket. And then down here in the center, we have vents. These are a nice feature to see in this segment. We're also going to have our 3-zone climate control. So this is something you almost never see in this segment of vehicle, and you do have your own climate settings. So that's certainly very nice. Now, off to the side of that, heated rear seats are going to be on the SEL trim level and above. So you can have your toasty bottom. Down below that, we have 2 USB ports, a USB-C, a USB-A, and a household style outlet. So you're going to be in style in this Mitsubishi Outlander in the rear seat because there's a lot of features. Now, as far as the center armrest, you do have to kind of do it two-handed style, and that's going to fold this part down. 2 cup holders inside of that. Then let's check out our door trim. Our door trim is also going to be nicely done. So we have a rear window sunshade up top, SEL trim levels and above. And then we, dropping down, we have that quilting area, and then we have a leather padded armrest portion, and then we also have some door storage in there. Now, I do also want to point out that the second row does also slide forward and back as well as recline. Now, the really unique thing about the Outlander that really none of the other rivals have is a third row. So let's go ahead and check this out. So in order to get back here, you just grab this little lever right here. That's going to allow the seat to fold forward, allow it to slide out of the way. And checking out the third row itself, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to climb back here, but this is pretty much for the smallest of small people. All right. Well, if you slid the seat forward pretty much all the way and didn't recline it, you might be all right to sit back here for a little while. There's not going to be much headroom. I'm 5'9" and definitely not very comfortable back here. So you do have two seats though, so maybe if you have like a really small child, you could put them back here, but this is going to be pretty much reserved for bad kids only on our rating scale. This is definitely going to be the lowest tier. It's pretty much emergency only. Now walking up to the tailgate area, for the Outlander plug-in hybrid, as long as you go for the SE trim level and above, you will have a hands-free power-operated trunk, so just kick your foot under the bumper to open it up. As you can see, it does work quite well. Now, let's go ahead and discuss what's going on in this cargo area. Now, I don't have official figures behind all three seating configurations for the plug-in hybrid, but we do have a maximum figure. Our maximum figure is going to be 66.6 cubic feet of cargo capacity. So for those of you superstitious, you might not want to buy this Outlander plug-in hybrid, because I don't know why they couldn't just at least add another 0.1 cubic foot there, but that is your official rating for this. It's going to be about 10 cubic feet less than the regular gas-powered Outlander, which of course makes sense because you have to put the battery somewhere. And as far as features back here, let's go ahead and talk about that. So the third row is up in this current configuration. We have kind of a pit down here for you to stick things. This is where the third row actually folds into. So if you want to fold the third row, it's going to be quite the process here. So you fold the headrest and then you do this part. Oh, no. Snap down the gigantic headrest here. You locate the 3 here. That allows you to fold it. Now, in order to fold it is going to be a 4-step process. So you fold the headrest there, then you fold the seat backs down, then you pull this up. That's going to allow you to fold it out like that. So that's how you fold the third row. Not the easiest way to fold it, but it's all right. And then we can pull these little 2 levers on the side. That's going to give us all of our seats folded down. Of course, I did bring my tape measure to measure from the back of the front seat back all the way to the rear of the cargo area. And in that area, we're looking at about 73 inches of space. So I'd say you're probably good to put a 70-inch flat screen in the rear seat of this, or the cargo area of this plug-in hybrid. And we do also have a household style outlet on the right side. We're behind the wheel of the plug-in hybrid Outlander. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this part of the video because, of course, this is a big part of a plug-in hybrid. Now, of course, we will be talking about a lot of different information. You can see that on the screen right now. We'll be getting our signature sound level reading, and we will go ahead and start with a hard acceleration.
And there we are at 60 miles per hour. One of the critical things about the plug-in hybrid is not really what you'd expect. It's actually the fact that this is substantially faster than the regular version of the Outlander. So if you drove the standard version, you said, oh, you know, I'd really like to have a little bit of extra power. This actually gives you quite a bit of extra power. You're looking at a 0 to 60 that drops by about 2 seconds overall. So that's certainly very nice if you have a little bit of a need for speed. Now, to recap what we said earlier in the spec dump about how this system works and what operation you have on board: 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine, 2 electric motors, and a 20 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery pack. Total system output: 248 horsepower, 332 pound-feet of torque. Now, right now we're just accelerating under electric power. It will stay, of course, in EV power mostly unless you really, map the throttle, that's when it will kick in the engine. As long as you're in hybrid mode, that's going to be the normal setting. Now you can also lock it into just the engine power if you want to save your EV power for later, or you can just lock it into the electric power and drain that battery completely all at once. It's up to you. You have all the different settings and whatnot.
Yeah, and what I'm noticing is that definitely under normal acceleration, you're going to be perfectly fine under the electric power. The motors are strong enough to get this SUV up to speed perfectly with the flow of traffic, actually faster than really the flow of traffic. And all told, the 332 pound-feet of torque is just really going to be something that people notice, especially if you drive the traditional gas Outlander, then you drive this back-to-back, you're really going to notice that additional torque, the additional power on board, and I think a lot of people are going to like that.
Right, that's probably close to about twice the torque of the standard engine.
Nice.
So there you are from a dead stop, and we're going up a hill, yeah, but power is definitely plenty for this type of vehicle. Now, as far as the other aspect of your powertrain, you do have an eCVT setup. It doesn't have any shift simulation or anything like that, but overall it's very responsive.
And now that we're stuck here at a road construction red light, might as well hit a few other details about this powertrain experience. So you do have standard all-wheel drive because it is a dual motor setup on this Outlander plug-in hybrid. And as far as your full electric range, I mentioned that at the beginning at the spec dump, 38 miles is your rating for this Outlander plug-in hybrid, which is really, really impressive plug-in hybrid range. Now, of course, a 20 kilowatt hour battery pack is a pretty decent size, but 38 miles is very good. That's more than the Hyundai Tucson plug-in, the Kia Sportage plug-in. I think those are sitting at about 33 miles of electric range, so you're going to be 5-6 miles more than those models. Now, if you run out of charge and you're using this vehicle just as a hybrid exclusively, you're going to be getting 26 miles per gallon combined, which is also a pretty solid figure.
As you were seeing earlier, the handoff between the electric power and the gas engine is very smooth. Of course, you can hear it a little bit, but very smooth in terms of the feel. Once we finally start going again here, I'm going to go ahead and cycle the system into EV. This will just lock us into the electric power, and we can see how it accelerates exclusively on electric power. I mean, it's definitely more gingerly, of course, but it's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the average person's acceleration, I think.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's go ahead and get a sound level reading going 55. Wow, not having the engine on certainly is helping this vehicle because 53.2 is our sound level reading.
Really good.
That is very impressive for this segment. Actually, as a matter of fact, it's not just impressive, this is actually the best sound level reading we have ever gotten in the compact SUV segment. So that is number one in our testing, and we've tested a lot of vehicles. As you can see right now on the screen, we do a ton in this segment. That's a very impressive job here from Mitsubishi. Now, I do want to talk about your overall ride quality of this vehicle. Now, this is a very solid riding vehicle. It's comfort oriented, of course, so when you hit a bump, it soaks it up really well. Despite having the large wheels on the outside, the seats are comfortable. I have no complaints when it comes to the ride quality. They've done a good job here, and also now you know it's very insulated inside of the cabin and when it comes to audio noise entering in.
Right, and this is definitely, a comfort-oriented vehicle. Dynamically speaking, you do have definitely some body roll. The steering is lightweight, but it is quick responding, so I like that.
I do also want to point out your warranty. You are going to have a really good warranty. 5 years, 60,000 miles for your basic, 10-year, 100,000 miles for your powertrain. But let's go ahead and get into our Slam Dunk and Airball, one of our other Car Confections signature elements. Drew will kick us off with the Slam Dunk, and then I'll hit the Airball.
The slam dunk is simply the fact that we have the availability of a plug-in hybrid. Mitsubishi has actually made a plug-in hybrid version of the previous version of the Outlander. So they've been doing this for longer than pretty much anybody. And there's still only, I believe, 4 products that offer, in this segment, a plug-in hybrid. But this is the only one that's going to offer that with a third row. So you definitely have a unique offering here.
Now, as far as our airball, it's got to be the price. Now, this Outlander, in general, the model is very value-oriented in gas form, but when you add the plug-in hybrid, it does cost quite a bit more. And you're going to see that in just a second when we talk about the pricing. And let's talk price for the Outlander plug-in hybrid. Now, the plug-in hybrid is going to command quite a bit of a price premium over the regular Outlander. And most of the trim configurations, it's about $10,000 more expensive. So we're starting at $39,845 for the base ES trim level. Now, as we go up the trim structure, you top out at the 40th anniversary, which starts at $49,995. Now, as far as this particular tester here today, we do have the SEL model. We also have a few options, plus the 1345 Destination. We're looking at $48,300 as equipped. And do keep in mind, this vehicle is manufactured in Japan, so per current U.S. regulations, you will not get a $7,500 tax rebate on this Outlander plug-in hybrid. And guys, that's going to wrap up our in-depth review of the all-new 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, please pay us back by hitting that subscribe button down below. Why would you do that? Well, it gives you access to some of our newest content. It's going to give you a little notification when we make new videos, and I'm sure you won't want to miss out on the latest vehicles on the market. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. You make all of this possible. Also follow us on TikTok and Instagram, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.